Okay, good afternoon class 6 students. Hope all of you are doing fine. Today we continue with civics. Today we are going to see the third organ of our government. In the previous classes we have seen the two organs. What are the two organs? Yes, we have seen the executive, the legislature and the judiciary. No, executive, legislature we have already seen. Today we will be studying about the third organ of the government, the judiciary. Okay? Now, India has a federal system of government with two governments. That is, one we have a central government and the state governments. Central government and the state government. Though we have federal system of government in India with two sets of government, we have a single unified judicial system. Single unified judicial system in our country. And if you see the judicial system in our country, at the apex level or at the topmost level, we have the Supreme Court. This is the apex court, the highest court in our country. Okay? Then below the Supreme Court, sorry, I made a mistake. Apex court or the highest court with the Supreme Court, and under the Supreme Court, that is in the states, we have the high courts. High courts, and below the high courts we have subordinate courts, or known as also district courts. So we have at the topmost level we have the Supreme Court. Under that, in the states we have the high courts, and within the state we have subordinate courts, also known as the district courts, under which we have what you call civil courts, criminal courts and revenue courts. And at the grassroots level, or in the villages we have the Nyaya Panchayats. Nyaya Panchayats. So this is the structure of judiciary in our country. Today we'll just learn about the Supreme Court, its composition and the qualifications of the judges and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. At the same time, we'll be studying about one function of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of India being the highest court, which is situated in Delhi. In Delhi, we have a single unified system of judicial setup in our country, and this is the structure that we have. And the highest court of appeal in India is the Supreme Court, which is in Delhi. The Supreme Court consists of one Chief Justice and other judges. One Chief Justice and other judges. Now, could you tell me who the present Chief Justice is? The present Chief Justice of India. He was just appointed in the year 2019. The present Chief Justice of India is Justice Sharad Arvind Bobde. He is the present Chief Justice of India, was appointed in the year 2019, 18th November 2019. Before Chief Justice Sharad Arvind Bobde, the former Chief Justice was Ranjan Gogoi. So he was the Chief Justice till November 2019. After he retired, he was succeeded by Chief Justice Sharad Arvind Bobde. Okay, please keep this in mind. So we go ahead now. The Supreme Court of India, its office or the Supreme Court of India is in Delhi, and it consists of one Chief Justice and other judges. Now this Chief Justice and other judges are appointed by the President of India. First, the Chief Justice is appointed and the President appoints the Chief Justice of India in consultation with the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. And when the other judges are appointed, it is still appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of India. Do you get this much? Now we need to know some of the functions of the Supreme Court or functions of judiciary in India. Supreme Court, let's say. The function of the judiciary or the Supreme Court in India is first one, administration of justice. Administration of justice. Okay, that means to provide justice to the people. Okay, second one, define and interpret the Constitution. The Constitution of India can be defined, interpreted only by the Supreme Court, and no other organ can do that. Though amendments can be made by the legislature, but defining the laws, interpreting the laws, or things which are in the Constitution can be done only by the Supreme Court or the Judiciary. The third function of a judiciary is to protect the rights of the people. Okay? Protect the rights of the people. Now here, define, interpret Constitution, and we can say laws also. Okay? The fourth important function of judiciary is to, or it acts as the guardian of the Constitution. Guardian of the Constitution. So far, what we have learned is India has a federal system of government with two levels of government, one central government and the state government. Though we have two forms of levels of government in the center and the state, we have a single unified judicial system in India that forms the third organ of the government. The three organs of the government are the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. So judiciary in India has a following format here. In the apex or the highest level, we have the Supreme Court, which is situated in Delhi. Under the Supreme Court, we have the high courts. We have the high courts in the states. Then within the states, we have subordinate courts and the district courts. And at the village level, we have the Nyaya Panchayats. Now, what we saw, the next one is the Supreme Court in India. The office of the Supreme Court is in Delhi. Supreme Court is in Delhi, which consists of a Chief Justice and other judges who are appointed by the President after consulting the Prime Minister and his cabinet ministers. So they have learned who the present Chief Justice is. The present Chief Justice of India is Sharad Arvind Bobde. He succeeded Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi in 2019, that is precisely 18th November 2019. Now, what are the functions of a judiciary in our country? First and foremost is administration of justice. Okay? Next one, to define and interpret the laws and the Constitution. The third function of the judiciary is to protect the rights of the people, and lastly, acts or to guard the Constitution of India. Is that clear or not clear? Okay, now the next thing that we need to know is the qualifications required to be the Chief Justice of India or to be appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court. As told just now, the Supreme Court of India consists of one Chief Justice and other judges who are appointed by the President. Now, who all can be the Chief Justice or the judges of the Supreme Court? The qualifications. Qualifications. First and foremost, could you tell? Yes, he or she should be the citizen of India. The first qualification required to be the Chief Justice or the Judge of the Supreme Court is he or she should be the citizen of India. Second qualification, he or she should have been an advocate or a lawyer or a high court or other courts, at least for minimum 10 years. Okay? First and foremost qualification is to be he or she should be the citizen of India. Added to that, the other qualification that is necessary or required is he or she should be an advocate of a high court or two other courts, at least for 10 years standing, or he or she should have been working as an advocate of a high court or other courts at least for minimum 10 years. If not, then he or she should have been a judge of a high court at least for a period of 5 years. So these are some of the qualifications which are necessary or which is required in order to become the judge or the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Once again, the qualifications are: person should be citizen of India. Second one, he or she should have worked as an advocate of a high court or two other courts at least for 10 years. At least for 10 years. These two qualifications. If he or she has not worked as an advocate, he or she might have acted or been a judge of the high court. If a person has been appointed or been functioning as a judge of a high court for 5 years, then he or she is qualified to become the judge of the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Now, we go to the next part. As I told you, we'll see the functions of the Supreme Court. The functions of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of India has a number of functions. Okay, it has jurisdiction over number of cases. Okay, first one is called as the original jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction. Second one is appellate jurisdiction. Third one is advisory jurisdiction. Fourth one, it's what we call interprets the Constitution, protects the Constitution. Then the last one, it acts as a court of record. Court of record. These are some of the functions of the Supreme Court of India. What are they? Original jurisdiction or the powers of the Supreme Court. Appellate jurisdiction, advisory jurisdiction, protect the Constitution, Indian Constitution, and act as a court of record. So now we will understand the first function or the power of the Supreme Court of India. That is the original jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction means the type of cases that can originate or that can be brought to the Supreme Court for the very first time. There are certain cases which cannot be brought either to the High Court or other district courts in the country. There are certain cases which can originate only in the Supreme Court. So that is the meaning of original jurisdiction. Cases that can originate or that can be heard or brought only in the Supreme Court. Under original jurisdiction, or what type of cases can originate in the Supreme Court? Okay, what is original jurisdiction? Hope you know it. Cases that can originate only in the Supreme Court, or the cases that can be brought to the Supreme Court for the very first time. These type of cases cannot originate in other courts. Clear? Now, what type of cases can be brought to the Supreme Court for the very first time? Number one, dispute between the central government or state governments. Okay? If there is a dispute, disagreement, or if there are certain cases going on between the central government, union government, or the state government, these type of cases can be brought or can originate only in the Supreme Court, not on other courts like high courts, district courts, and so on. Are you getting it? The second one, dispute between two or more state governments. Okay, if there is a dispute involving two or more states or more than one state, these type of disputes or cases, these type of cases can originate in the Supreme Court. Okay, third one, violation of the Constitution by the government or individual. If the Constitution or the clauses in the Constitutions, provisions in the Constitutions are violated either by the government, maybe the central government or a state government, or it may be any individual like you and me. Okay? And here a Constitution has been violated, that case can originate only in the Supreme Court. Clear? The fourth one is violation of fundamental rights. The fundamental rights. This is also there in the Constitution itself, fundamental rights, which is there in the Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. If any person, any organization, or if any government by purposely or by mistake happens to violate the fundamental rights, which are 6 in number in Part 3 of the Constitution, then that case can originate only in the Supreme Court. Do you get it? What I am trying to explain you is, I am telling you, trying to tell the powers or the functions of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of India has powers and functions, various powers and functions, which is seen under a jurisdiction. That is, we have original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, advisory jurisdiction, protect the Constitution, and act as a court of record. What is original jurisdiction? Original jurisdiction means cases that can originate only in the Supreme Court. Now, what type of cases can originate in the Supreme Court, or what type of cases can be brought straight to the Supreme Court? These are the ones. If there is a dispute between central government or state government, then that case can originate only in the Supreme Court. It can be brought straight to the Supreme Court. Second one, if there is a dispute between two or more state governments, and these type of cases also can be brought to the Supreme Court. Next one, if a government or any individual violates the Constitution or goes against the Constitution, then that type of cases can originate in the Supreme Court. The fourth one is, if the fundamental rights of an individual has been violated either by the government or any other organization, then that what you call case can originate only in the Supreme Court. Is it clear? I go back once again. We have a single unified judicial system in India, and this single unified judicial system, it forms the judiciary or the third organ of the government. Then we saw the setup of the what you call judicial system. On the apex, on the topmost level, we have the Supreme Court, and in the states we have the high courts. Within the states, under the high courts, we have subordinate courts, district courts, and below the district courts, at the village level, at the grassroots level, we have Nyaya Panchayats. Now, the Supreme Court of India is located or situated in Delhi, which consists of a Chief Justice and other judges who are appointed by the President of India in consultation with the Prime Minister. Then, what are the functions of a judiciary that we saw? Function of a judiciary is administration of justice, define and interpret the constitution or the laws which are passed by the legislature, protect the rights of the people, and act as a guardian of the constitution. That means to protect the constitution, to see that nobody violates the Indian constitution. Now, what are the qualifications required to be the judge of the Supreme Court? First and foremost, he or she should be the citizen of India. Okay, it's compulsory. Second one, a person should have worked as an advocate of a high court or two other courts at least for a period of 10 years. If not, then he or she should have acted or worked as a judge of a high court at least for 5 years. Then he or she can be appointed as the Chief Justice or a judge of the Supreme Court. Keep this in mind. As once appointed as a Chief Justice of a Supreme Court, he or she can stay in office for a period of 65 years. For a period of 65 years. Which means he or she can remain a judge or a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court till the age of 65 years. Once he or she reaches the age of 65 years, then he has to resign. Before that, once the Chief Justice is appointed by the President, he cannot be removed. He can only be impeached. He can only be impeached, which is a very, very difficult process. The President of India can be impeached and the judges of the Supreme Court can be impeached. On what grounds can he or she? This is an official procedure of removal of the President of India as well as the Chief Justice and the judges of the Supreme Court. On what grounds can he or she be impeached from the office? In case of proven misbehavior. In case of proven misbehavior. First one, if a person, a judge or the Chief Justice have been proved that he or she has misbehaved, then he or she can be impeached from the office. Second one, incapacity to perform the duty. Incapacity to perform the duty. If a judge is not able to perform his duty or is not capable of performing his duty, carrying out his functions, then he can be removed from the office. The removal of the official procedure of the removal of the judges of the Supreme Court is known as impeachment. And a judge can stay in office as long as he attains the age of 65 years. So these were some of the powers of the Supreme Court that you have learned. Especially I have explained to you the original jurisdiction or what type of cases that can originate in the Supreme Court. Okay, the rest of the powers, appellate, advisory, and how it protects the Constitution and how it acts as a court of record will be explained in the next class. So till then, to brush up, to know what we have learned or understood, please do the following exercise from your textbook. That is page 172, exercise E, 1, 2 and 5. Once again, page 172, exercise E, 1, 2 and 5. And from F1A. Please do these exercises, and sim will be revised in the next class when I go ahead with the other powers and functions of the Supreme Court. Till then, do stay safe, do your work, stay happy, stay healthy, and at the same time, please study seriously. Thank you.